Hello, Gemini. My name is NiJiLL, and you have found alchemy. Welcome to your July 2025 reading. I do not know if you have listened to your summer overview, but these cards have been pulled from that particular reading, and as promised, I re-pulled them to build a reading around them, a larger, more extensive reading. I should probably open by telling you that here at the bottom, I'm using a tarot deck I haven't used in quite a while. It's a fairy deck. We generally don't take them in reverse. We can take them sideways. And this is dirt that I acquired in Ireland back in 2014 under a tree called the fairy tree. And the legend has it, from the locals anyway, is that you tie a ribbon around one of the branches, make a wish, and the fae will grant your wish. And, to make a very long story extremely short, the fae did grant my wish, and I am here to say be careful what you wish for, Gemini. Okay, so with all that said, let's get started here. I'm going to summarize this again for those of you who perhaps didn't listen to the reading or maybe don't remember it. You do have here, you know what, let me move the stuff out of the way so we could really get a good look at everything. I will come back to this. Now, you do have here the Nine of Wands. And the Nine of Wands in this deck, the only correspondence it has is with the element of fire. It does not have an astrological correspondence, and it is an alternate card. And it is the card of endurance for sure. Receiving help. It could be one last test that you will be involved in somehow. There is protective energy around you. For one of you, you could be feeling a sense of karma, of sort of something. I mean, look, he has this protective being with him, but he's looking up at the sky and he looks worried. He looks like, what is going to happen to me? Is something, it seems as though there's a spotlight on this person. Now, I don't think that's true of all of you. I do think that's true of at least one of you, but definitely it is a card of endurance, and it is a card of receiving help, and it is a card of having a protective energy around you. One of you could be very worried about some sort of retributive energy here. But let's see. With these cards, with the larger cards, like I always tell you, I do not take them in reverse, but I take note of them when they come in reverse. And here you have the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is Mercury and Gemini energy, and that obviously is feeling stuck, feeling powerless. But it's important to note that it's a perspective here, Gemini. You could feel frozen from fear, frozen from depression, disappointment. You might be, for some of you, you might be in a position where you're told you're powerless and there's nothing that you can do. But this is a state of mind, and this is definitely a perspective. It is not a reality, because as we can see, this person is surrounded by swords, and she can get out of the situation anytime she really wants to. But if she's been told she can't, then she won't even try. Or if she feels like she's battened down by very strong emotions and she is standing in water, that could be a problem as well. You do have the Strength card coming in, and the Strength card is pure Leo energy, and this card did come in reverse, at least initially. Now, you have that infinity symbol there. It's interesting. See the infinity symbol? Anyway, so you have the card of Leo here, and this is another perception, because it came in reverse, but we do take it in the upright. So that the perception above of you feeling trapped may lead you to a moment where you feel you won't get through this, whatever this is for you. I don't feel like I have the strength to do this. I don't think I'm going to get through this. But ultimately you do, Gemini. Ultimately you do. And you do here have the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is Mercury and Virgo energy. But, more than that, this card too came in reverse. And so your initial perception, once again, is negative. I have no future. It's over for me. I'll never have X, Y, and Z, whatever X, Y, and Z is for you. But once again, this negative energy is temporary, but you're going to be feeling this. It's going to be real for you when it's going on here, Gemini, for sure. This whole situation could be the result of a third-party situation. a situation where it could be a love triangle. It could be there is someone on the outside of a partnership that I'm not going to say, it doesn't always have to be negative. There are times when a third party can come in and help. But I do think you're in a very negative headspace for part of this month, and I do think that there is a triangle of some kind here on the table. Okay, to put it simply. Now, the reason I say these energies are temporary is, number one, they came in reverse, and we take them in the upright. That's one clue. But the second clue are these cards, and you have here the Seven of Wands. Right, the Seven of Wands is Mars and Leo energy, and you could tell it's very, very it's determination. It's taking that one last stand. It's perhaps finding a loophole in some way, in some area of your life, feeling all these negative feelings and then finding an out, or finding the energy to fight one more time. Okay, you do have here the Nine of Pentacles coming right in after that, truly in the upright, Venus and Virgo energy. And this is the card of freedom. It is the card of success. It is the card of monetary rewards for some of you. She is standing alone, and obviously she could be a he. You have to not look at genders for these general readings. But this person is in a good spot for a good outcome. Okay, but this is born from all this negativity. And last but not least, you do have the star, and the star is the card of pure Aquarius energy, and it is healing. It is a blessing. It's a wish, a return of your inner compass. You may have lost your compass for a while there, Gemini. I mean, it kind of shows in these cards for sure. Yeah, definitely. When we add all the numbers up in your overview here and we break them down, we get Uranus energy, which is Aquarius energy again. Unexpected change. So we're going to have to expect unexpected change this month. Definitely. Hold on, let me take my little jacket off here. Okay, over here you have pulled two cards, Libra and Cardinal, and as we know, Libra is a cardinal sign. The cardinal signs could be meaningful for you in some way, right? Yeah, for sure. You have Cancer, you have Libra, you have Aries, and you have Capricorn. Okay, but here you have Libra, right? So let's start with the cardinal, right? It says cardinal and initiation, spark, and vision. But as far as the cardinal signs in July go, you have your full moon in Capricorn on July 10th, and something is about to pay off around that time for you here. So there is something that perhaps you have almost given up hope on. It could be that, but there is something that's going to come to fruition, and through your hard work, you're going to attain something. On July 12th, we have Saturn retrograde in Aries, another cardinal sign. Broken rules are necessary sometimes, and this is no exception. You may break a few rules around that time, but the only caveat here is to be cautious not to go overboard with that, okay? Balance. On July 30th, we have Chiron retrograde in Aries. The next several months, we have wounds that need healing. This could be wounds that you're carrying with you from childhood that affect your day-to-day life and decisions. This could be wounds that you have inflicted on others as a result of your wounds. But your wounds are in the spotlight here, okay, for the next several months. And also on July 30th, we have Venus that enters Cancer, another cardinal sign, right? A period of nostalgia will be at the forefront of your mind, right? Memories that were good, old memories, things that you miss, things that you missed out on, things that you wish you could repeat. It's that nostalgic feeling, right? And it could go hand in hand with this Chiron energy that we talked about, for sure. We also have Mercury, Neptune, and Jupiter, all cardinal signs that are going, Mercury, Neptune, and Jupiter will be in all cardinal signs in the month of July. You have a lot of cardinal energy here, and you also have Libra. Diplomatic harmony and balance. That could have something to do with the justice system, right? The scales of justice. You could have a Libra that is extremely important in your life that, has come out as a cardinal sign as well as a Libra. So we'll keep that sort of close to us as we go on here. We have Service odds, we have the 6th house. Service to others. So you may be doing things for other people this month. I don't know. There may be at least one Gemini who feels a certain amount of responsibility for the people around them. Perhaps you are of service. Maybe that's part of your work, part of your job. Maybe that's part of your mantra, at least now, within the next few months. It could very well be. But here you have Libra again. So Libra has to be important to you in some way here, Gemini. Yeah, for sure. And like I said, if you do not have a Libra that is important to you, it can represent very easily the justice system. So you could have an active court case, something like that could be going on. So here in the Lenormand deck, you have these two cards here. You have Coffin and you have Snake. Not the nicest cards. The snake usually represents a betrayal of some kind, or some sort of deceptive energy. There's deceptive energy here. And you also have a coffin, something coming to an end. Maybe it's coming to an end as a result of the deceptive energy. That could very well be. There could be some sort of deception going on, and as a result, something is abruptly ending. Okay? You could be the instrument of that ending. We don't know exactly what's going on here in the reading yet, Gemini. But here on the other side, you do have atoms. And this is number 40 in this deck. Building blocks, right? What are atoms? They're building blocks. When I see that little ship moving away, I see somebody moving away to another life to build something different. All elements are present in this card, right? There is change afoot, and it's necessary. So do not try to fight whatever is going to come out here on the table. It's really important to go with the flow. Go with the flow. It's time to rebuild something. You do have here double mission. It says light worker, starseed, serve the world, right? And there is at least one Gemini here who is of service here and may consider themselves to be a starseed in that way, a light worker in that way, for sure. Okay, that is definitely. But another meaning to this card is you may always feel, or maybe in the past have always felt that there is something missing, like you are incomplete. But you have a deeper reason for being on this plane, and you haven't found it yet, which is why you're constantly feeling that way. You're feeling half empty. You're constantly searching for that thing, I think that it's almost plutonium-like, right? It's very Pluto energy-like, what's happening to you, at least this summer. Specifically this month, I think, is going to be a big deal. Yeah. You will begin to uncover this month what your mission actually is, where you're supposed to be. You do have loss here, and see that goes along with the coffin. It says a major phase in your life is ending. Embrace the newness. What did I say? Do not try to fight what comes out here on the table, right? It says let go of what was so you can focus your energy on what is ahead of you. And I'm pretty sure that is a cemetery, right? Yeah. And no, I'm not predicting that someone's going to pass away. It is that coffin being underlined. Something is dying. It is like that death card, that scorpion energy, right? You do have two cards. And now these cards are the cards of there's someone around you that are thinking these things. Some of these cards can be quite good and beautiful. Some of them can be quite boring, and some of them can be quite nasty. So we have it all here. But you have somebody who's gaslighting and perhaps unfriendly. The gaslight card says, I will deliberately manipulate your perception of reality until you are doubting your own experiences. Yeah. You have a gaslighter in your midst here, Gemini, and it says unfriendly. I have a hostile attitude. There is someone around you who is not your friend. Definitely not your friend. Someone who means you harm in some way. And when I say that, I don't mean they're going to come at you with any kind of weapon. It is just someone who has this underlying hostility towards you, whether they show it to you or not. Okay. You pulled the ruin Ingwaz, and this is the ruin for fertility. Yeah. But this ruin is a symbol of what's possible. When the great unknown begins to manifest in our life, like it is in this reading, possibilities emerge that shouldn't be ignored. You're going to have the opportunity for something, and you shouldn't shrug it off. Something's going to be revealed to you. There'll be an opportunity, and you are being asked to look it straight in the eye and take it seriously. Okay. because Gemini minds can go in 20 different directions and get nothing done, you know, when they're at their when they're not at their best. So don't do that this month. There is going to be a lot of things that end. There are going to be something else that's starting. And there's also going to be an opportunity that you really shouldn't ignore, because you do, even in this, you have the rune of, this is a witch's rune of harvest. And this is rewards. It's fruit. It is that Nine of Pentacles energy we talked about up here, right? You have the initials J, M, R, and W, and this could be someone's initials. It could be the name of a place you go to. It could be the name of a street, a restaurant, anything like that, a city. You have to really keep an open mind, but this is going to mean something to you by the end of the month. So I would keep them handy so you don't have to return to the reading. Now, here are your 3 legs. These legs do not have to come in order. I get messages all the time that say, oh, my last leg happened on my first leg. Sure, it could happen that way. These are 3. I split your month up into thirds. And since it's not a science, we have to look at it as spiritual. So yes, the legs can come out of order. So with that said, you have alchemy here on your first leg. It says alchemy, ancestor guides. Yeah, there is something alchemizing in your life here. And sometimes birthing pains can be not so pleasant. Or sometimes birthing is disguised by loss. So let's keep that here. You have the 4 of autumn. With the four of autumn, this is Capricorn energy. And this is holding on to something. It's holding on to something or someone out of fear of losing it. It's holding on to something that you think you might lose. Could be a job, could be money, could be freedom. Could be fear about loss in general, right? It doesn't mean it's grounded in reality. It doesn't have to be. But there's a certain type of fear, and it's causing you to sort of do this. You do have the world coming in next. And the world obviously is Jupiter energy. It's fixed energy, Leo, Taurus, Sagittarius. Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, and Scorpio, right? Fixed energy, Jupiter energy. A journey is now at its end. What did we say a few times here? It's at its end. New beginnings are afoot. Freedom, right? A sense of completion. But it begs the question, what is freedom to you? What really is freedom to you? And it's going to be different for each Gemini, but that is an important question to ask yourself. You have the 5 of autumn here. Yeah. And that's more of that feeling of loss, that it's like it is a fear. It could be a fear with money challenges attached to it. It could be a fear of being alone, of being abandoned, being forgotten. It could be a temporary feeling of a temporary actuality of being alone, of isolating yourself. It could, technically, and, even in this card a little bit, you see 2 people walking through a storm. So you might feel like you're in the middle of a storm. It might happen. It might happen that way for at least one of you. Once again, perception is everything. When we add this up and we break it down, we get Jupiter energy, right? There's that Jupiter energy. It's expansion. It's a sense of justice. There is some sort of justice here on the table, sense of justice. There's wisdom attached to this, but expansion for sure. You have 2 number 3s in this, on this leg, and that is growth. It's expansion, right? Because number 3 is the number of Jupiter too. So that's interesting, isn't it? It could be some sort of collaboration you have. It's collaborative energy. Interesting energy here, Gemini, as always. Okay, so you have on your second leg, it says rejection, loss, fragmented. I don't know about, you could be, listen, you could be worried about loss. You could be worried about feeling rejected. You could be in the middle of being rejected. You could be fragmented. That happens to Geminis a lot, where the pieces of their mind almost break off and go into different directions. You could be feeling very fragmented here. And this is your middle leg. That doesn't look, all right. You have the Ace of Spring. The Ace of Spring is fire energy, and this could be, for at least one of you, the announcement of a birth of a child. But for most of you, it could be career changes, could be something begins. Definitely something begins. There is a beginning here. There is ending for sure. There is a beginning of something. And you have the 4 of Spring coming in as your center card. This is a really good card. We know that your center card is a very important card in your reading. It's Aries energy, but it is the center. For at least one of you, it means for sure a new home, a change of address, a change of residence. For many of you, though, for the other groups that I'm talking to, it represents abundance, a finish line, harmony, a really good place, moving to a really good place, really nice energy, but yet you feel fragmented. I don't know. It's weird, but at least one of you is definitely moving to a new location. And here it is. This drives a point home. You have the Six of Winter, and the Six of Winter is Aquarius energy, moving to a new place, a new residence, moving away from a stressful situation into the unknown, with the hope that this new place will at least offer you a respite from whatever it is you've been through. But when we add this column up and we break it down, we get 11. And 11 is a cardinal number, right? We have cardinal again. Cardinals are the initiators of the zodiac. They start the seasons. Cardinal numbers are bridging numbers, right? A bridge from one place to another, perfect for that leg. You are moving, you feel fragmented. Maybe you have mixed feelings about what's happening. And that too is very, very Geminian, right? Now, on your last leg, it says spy, watching, and inspecting. There could be somebody inspecting what you do. You could be doing that with or to someone else, or very much so you could be introspecting. You could very well be examining, doing all the self-examination we talked about up here. And maybe you have the time, maybe you feel isolated and you have the time in the head for that. And you have one card here where my cards come in sideways. They are decisions that you need to make. And you have the Ace of Winter coming in as, and it is air energy like yourself. It is truth. Truth as an instrument of strength. It's clarity. It's a decision you have to make about the truth. I don't know what that means, right? And I have a very strong feeling that it's going to be very different for pretty much every Gemini, what I'm saying right now. What is truth to you? Is truth important? Is it important enough to approach? Is it important enough to communicate? Do you feel like that would level the playing field for the future for you? Really ending something on a note of clarity. For you, there is a decision with that sideways cards that needs to be made. You have the Nine of Winter coming in next. And the Nine of Winter is Gemini energy. It is difficulty sleeping, right? It is a need to stop focusing on it on the inside. Maybe it has something to do with this truth, because you have the truth. You need to make a decision on whether to get something off your chest, whether to seek the truth. For some of you, that might very well be. Maybe it's something you really want. But I have to tell you, you're not going to sleep well until you have either spoken your truth or you have found your truth. But there is something to do with truth that you need to make a decision about here. And here you have the King of Winter. The King of Winter is Sun in Aquarius energy. The King of Winter is very logical, very open, very balanced, very fair. This could be you. You could be stepping in because it's air energy, whether, it could very well be you. It could be somebody that's in your energy, but it's something to do with, even he has a sword on the card. He carries that sword of truth. The truth here on this leg is very, very important. This inspecting could be introspection, is either introspection for group A or for group B. This is you trying to find the truth yourself, trying to understand what happened, perhaps, right? When we add this up and we break it down, we get Pluto and Scorpio energy. And we know that Pluto is an Aquarius. Pluto, it's a big freaking deal. Look it up. Look it up. And also look up the date. When did this happen last? You'll be shocked, okay, if you don't know anything about it. So it could be an Aquarius energy that's around you. If you have Aquarius highly aspected in your chart, this could be affecting you. But no matter what, Pluto is the coffin, right? Pluto is loss. Pluto is also rebirth. It's the death card in the tarot. So there you go. Death, rebirth. What did I say? Don't try to fight this here, Gemini. Now here in your challenges, you have fire energy. It says Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. So this fire energy can be a challenge for you. You may be dealing with someone with fire highly aspected in their chart, or Something like that. Let's look at the rest of the cards before we start guessing. You have here the Hermit. And on this side, this is Virgo, and this is definitely Virgo energy. But more than that, there is a lot going on under the surface. There are secrets that are beginning to emerge. Some things you have refused to look at and can no longer avoid here, okay? This is, once again, the pursuit of truth. It is. It's yet another card pointing in that direction. The truth may set somebody free out there. You do have here the Nine of Wands coming in next. And the Nine of Wands, and this is Moon in Sagittarius. As you can see, it's a very different energy, right? This is someone who is like, I'm still standing. It's the wounded soldier. It's like, yeah, I'm alive, but barely, but I lived through this. And here it is somebody approaching a respite. You are drawn to a place, or you are being guided to a place. You look at as a respite. Your reward is at hand. Yeah, you may not recognize it as a reward because this is in your challenges. You're going to a place that's introspective. You're dealing with fire energy big time. You're dealing with truths resurfacing in some way. You do have the Three of Cups here. Yeah. I mean, you can tell the difference between this side and this side. This side you're celebrating in the light with two other people. But here you have water, a show of gratitude. This is to get you through this challenging time. Show your gratitude for anything that happens to you that's positive. If you believe in God, thank God. If you believe in the universe, thank the universe. If there are people around you that help you in any way or have helped you, make sure to express your gratitude. I know it may sound hokey for somebody out there or a few people out there, but it really does help. It does help to recognize that there is good in the world and there is some good in people in the world. And this here, look, her cups are full as a result of her showing this gratitude. You're going to be rewarded, okay? Yeah, this is really important. Now, what's interesting is when we add this up and we break it down, we get 11 again. We get that cardinal bridging number. Again, it's going to be a challenge for you to cross over that bridge. It is. But you're being told that it's necessary. And here, this is your opportunities pile. And you have here creation, intention, and breaking toxic patterns, toxic bonds. There could be some toxic patterns that you have always leaned on, or that you could be a weakness that's within you that you are breaking this month. This could be a toxic tie you have with someone that is you're finally being released from. Could very well be. Here you have the Seven of Pentacles on this side. And this is Saturn and Taurus energy, and it's very on this side of the card, there is a loss. But the guarantee here in your opportunities column is that the next crop you plant will be fruitful if you have thoroughly learned from your past mistakes. So, you know, if we want to get technical with this card, if he tests the soil, if he tries to figure out why this crop didn't take hold, what did I do wrong? What should I not repeat? What do I need to incorporate into this to be your guaranteed success? Okay. And if you break some past pattern that you have, and it's going to be quite different for each person out there. But you're guaranteed success on this next crop if you do that, if you just do that work. Okay. You have here the Queen of Swords. This is Saturn in Libra. And there is the King and the Queen in one reading. And I can't help but think that it is the divorced couple, right? The King and Queen of Swords is the only divorced couple in the tarot deck. Air signs, both of them. But this person is a good person. This person is powerful. It could be somebody in a position of authority. Very well could be, because you have a woman, and I can't help, I know that we're not supposed to rely on sexes, but and maybe I shouldn't be, but for at least one of you, I do think this is a woman. There is a powerful person seated here, right? She doesn't suffer fools lightly. She is seated on a hard, cold stone sort of throne. She has the sword of truth in her hand. Yeah, she doesn't want to put up with any lies or any bullshit. So I think truth is somehow important in this situation. Real truth. You do have the 10, and that is an opportunity for you. So this is either going to be someone you're dealing with, or perhaps you're stepping into that energy yourself, and you're picking up your sword and you're saying your truth. You do have the 10 of Wands here, and the 10 of Wands is Sun in Sagittarius, and this is work. This is stress. This is work, but it's work for a reason. And I do think that you're under a tremendous amount of stress for some reason, but there is an achievement here as well, right? Your work is going to pay off. Your next crop is going to be good. If you've had bad crops in the past, and it's a metaphor, if you've had bad crops in the past, no matter what you try to plant, it doesn't grow, or it grows and then it dies. If you've had that kind of experience in your life, you are guaranteed that your next crop is going to be fruitful and abundant if you break certain patterns that you have. And it's really a time of introspection. It's really an important time in that way as you go through this, as you walk over this bridge. When we add that column up and we break it down, we get Saturn energy. That's Capricorn, Aquarius energy, lessons learned, karma. It's definitely a karmic type thing for sure. The taskmaster of all the planets. Let me grab this deck. But look at all these good cards you have over here. And you even have the 10, you have the 9, and the 10 of Pentacles. Your next crop is going to be fruitful. You have to make the right changes. You have to make the right changes here, okay? Calcification here, Gemini. Very interesting card, especially for this reading. You see how down here we have the fire energy, right? If you look at this card really carefully in the center, you'll see that flame burning as well, right? And this card is the card of heat, fire, for sure. And it's frustration, could be frustration because there are changes afoot. If the heat on this card is channeled with awareness, the transformation that occurs from this card is, it's not easy. All right. It requires commitment and a willingness to sit through some discomfort as old patterns fall into the ashes. The flame initiates sacred change. It initiates a phoenix rising from the ashes. This may be you. It is you with your new crop, if you choose it here, Gemini. We add all the numbers in this reading up and we break them down. We get the number 5, which is your ruling planet. It's Mercury. Right? So you're at the end of the day, you're going to be stepping into your power energy. You're going to be capable of a lot of change. You're going to be able to communicate something that's very important. The number that we talked about the most in this reading was number 8, and that is Saturn energy, right? Capricorn, Aquarius energy. Saturn is a very important part of this reading. It's karma. It is the planet of karma and hard work. Saturn, out of all and so the number 8 was mentioned the most, and the planet that was mentioned the most attached to each card was Saturn again. So you got Saturn twice. And the sign that was mentioned the most in this reading and that was attached to the cards was Aquarius, and that is Saturn too. It's Uranus. Aquarius has 2 ruling planets, one Saturn and one is Uranus, but Saturn again. I mean, think about it. So you have Mercury and Saturn, very heavy. Very heavy. Something you need to communicate. Something you need to break a pattern here. Very important. Truth is very important for you to share with someone or something like that. Truth is here on the table. If you've been having a run of bad luck or bad feelings, or you feel like you feel that way, your next crop is guaranteed to be something very abundant. But you have to do the work this month. As a matter of fact, I think by the end of the month, you're going to see some progress if you do some of the work right now. I wish you nothing but the best. Don't forget to listen to your birthday reading. It is 3 blessings coming to Gemini between 2025 and 2026. Just the good stuff. I will see you next time, Gemini. Bye.